All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Hakodash. Peace and double honors to the apostles, the elders, the GMS that give us his truth and all the spirituality, and salutations to all you occupation this word throughout the four corners of the earth, in sincerity and the truth. I'm the brother Yahweh, and as you can see in this video that I just played, you have Venezuela, for the past couple of years, they've been going through what's known as hyperinflation, which is the value of their currency being lowered as time goes by. So, because the value of the currency gets lowered, it takes more of the currency to buy average things. So, if let's say, I don't know, a loaf of bread used to cost $5, because their dollar has went down, now it might cost, let's say, $5,000 just to buy that same thing. So it's not that the price of the thing has changed, it's really the value of the money that has gone down. So it's not just Venezuela. You got, I believe, Zimbabwe. They're going through the same thing, and a few other countries, and it's only a matter of time before it comes to America. So that's a prelude as to what's to come. So without further ado, let's get into the scriptures. This is Ezekiel chapter 7. Now I'm going to start at 14. And Slakia, I'm a little out of breath because, I'm kind of sick. So, my lungs is filled with mucus. So, I'm kind of struggling to breathe. So, bear with me. So this is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14. It says, "They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof." Yeah, so they have blown the trumpet. The day they have blown the trumpet is the prophets. And the trumpet represents what? The prophecies. So when we go out in these streets, when we do these lessons, that's us blowing the trumpet. The Lord said, blow ye the trumpet in the city. What is the trumpet? It's a warning. Matter of fact, I think it might be 1 Corinthians 12. Actually, let me see. How does it go? Oh, it's 14. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 7. It says, "And even things without life give in sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds. How shall it be known what is piped or harped?" Yeah, so the instrument that's being played by the sound that's coming out of it. Verse 8, "For if the trumpet given a certain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle?" Yeah, so if you blow a trumpet and it ends up sounding like a harp, nobody's going to get ready for war. So the purpose of a trumpet is, you use trumpet for music too, but there's different purposes for it. In ancient times, when it was time for war, they blew the trumpet. When it was time for different feasts, they blew the trumpet. It's a instrument of warning. So we have to give out the right sound. The right sound is what? The right doctrine. The scriptures talk about the new song being sung, and it also says in somewhere in Matthew, Yahushua said, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto children in a marketplace or something like that. And then he said, what? We have piped unto you, but ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, but ye have not lamented. So pretty much, you got to have the right doctrine. And, in order for you to receive the right doctrine, you got to be part of the elect. That's the only way you're going to take heed to the warning. You see? It says, "So likewise, Except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken? For ye shall speak into the air. Yeah, so, you know, yeah, some brothers, they use, they're very eloquent, but, we got to keep it, as simple as possible for the flock, because not all Israel is, scholar and educated and knows how to use big words, you know? So we got to keep it as simple as possible. So that's it on that. Going back to Ezekiel 7, verse verse 14. They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. Yes, so none goeth to the battle. The scripture saying, second Ezra, will my people make you ready to thy battle, and in those days be as pilgrims upon the earth? Meaning what? Detach from this world, and get understanding. So that's the battle, you know, basically striving for the truth, striving to be righteous. But our people, they don't want to do that, man. They want to keep being niggas, you know. But the Lord said, what? For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The reason Jake is not hearkening is because the Lord has to judge 2/3. As it says in Isaiah 6 and 9, the reason why Jake can't, get this truth is because the Lord put a dumb spirit upon them. He made their ears wax gross, so that they don't understand this truth, so that he could be justified in the judgment that he's bringing. Verse 15, it says, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. Yeah, so, that happened multiple times in history, as judgment from the Lord, which is a fulfillment of the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, where the Lord said this would happen to us if we didn't hearken unto him. How we would eat the flesh of our sons and daughters, and how we would be consumed away, and things of that nature. So, if it happened before, what makes you think it's not going to happen again? Especially in a time where the Lord said it's going to be a time like no other, to where Michael is going to have to stand up for the children of Israel. Jacob's trouble, man. So when it says the sword is without and the pestilence and the famine within, that's going to happen in Babylon the Great and all over the world, really. Especially in countries where Jake dwells, because this time of trouble that's coming is going to be many to purge out the rebels among our people. It says, he that is in the field shall die with the sword. So it doesn't matter if Jake is in other countries, or if Jake is in a rural area, somewhere where it's far removed from the cities, It says, he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. So, somewhere like Manhattan, the boroughs, the metropolitan areas all over America, guess what? When martial law gets ensued, they're going to be blocked off, They might blow up the bridges, cut off the highways, and the only way in and out is going to be through checkpoints. And those checkpoints, you're going to have the MOTB up in you, that digital oil. They showed that in the movie Time, where there was different zones that you had to cross, and then, you had to put in your wrist, and it took a certain amount of time. It says, but they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. When you watch those cartoons, where they show you where somebody's scared, where their knees is cackling, is shaking. Man, it's going to be so much death and fear out here that people are going to be feeble, man. That's why the scriptures say the mighty men shall be as women in that day. It says, they shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. And in that video, as you can see, that represents their silver, their currency. Even though it's fiat, but it's still currency, And that's what they're doing. They cast them in the streets. So it's going to come a point where that money is gonna be worthless. It's not gonna be able to save you. It says, and their gold shall be removed, their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them. In the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, they shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. So you're not gonna be able to go to McDonald's and get a dollar burger, you know, go to KFC, go to Popeyes, get some chicken, you know. You're not gonna be able to fill your bowels, man. You're not gonna have that privilege anymore. It says verse um okay, so yeah, that's the point on that. Now let's get Zephaniah chapter 1. I'm gonna start at 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. Yeah, so the great day of the Lord is near. You know, the great day of the Lord consists of what? World War III, nuclear destruction. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. Yeah, so, you know, it doesn't matter how tough you think you are. The Lord knows how to humble every man. You know, he knows exactly what, you know, what could break you. You know, he's the one that made your spirit, and he knows all your weaknesses. It says, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. That's going into what? The mushroom clouds. You know, that's going to blot out, you know, the sun, the moon, and the stars, like the scriptures say in Isaiah, the 13th chapter, you know. So, verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Yeah, the trumpet and the alarm against the fenced cities is those alarms that go off when, you know, there's a threat of a nuclear bomb coming. You know, when you see those in the movies, you hear that alarm. That's what it's talking about. The fenced cities is America. The high towers is in America. Those buildings, you know, they have those what's it called? Those missile defense systems, you know, that so-called protecting America. So that's the fenced cities. Verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against the Lord. Yes, they're going to walk like blind men, meaning what? They don't have this light. So, you know, the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our times and strength of salvation. So, you know, they shall walk like blind men, meaning they're going to walk like chickens with their head cut off. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to be in utter confusion, you know. They're not going to know who to look up to. You're going to have people diving into different types of paganism. You might have a Christian going into full-blown Satanist mode, you know, because they see that, you know, Jesus, so-called Jesus, is not on their side when they pray. You know, you're going to have people doing tarot card reading, you know, palm readings, you know. It says, and their blood shall be poured out as dust and their flesh as the dung. Yeah, so that's going into what? When the missiles basically disintegrate these people, you know, this is a figure of speech. And their blood shall be poured out as dust and their flesh as the dung, meaning you're going to get eviscerated. Verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire on these soils of America. When the missiles come, there's no amount of money that's going to be able to protect you. You're not going to be able to buy your way out from judgment. It says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So a speedy riddance is going to be very quick. That's why the scriptures say in 1 hour shall America come to naught, the riches of America, because it's going to be a fast destruction. And Russia already said that they got missiles that could reach America in like 20 minutes. So picture each of those missiles with multiple warheads and over 200 million warheads packed into, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ICBMs coming from Russia, North Korea, NATO, you know, China, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna be a very speedy riddance, man. You're not gonna have time to run off. And we could end it with Revelation 6. This is Revelation 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. Black horse represents famine. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So, it's going to cost a penny. Matter of fact, penny is G12, 1220. It says denarius, which denarius is the currency of Rome back then. It says containing 10. It says a Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took the same from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC, increased to 16. It says it was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay of a day's wage. So it's a pay of a day's wage. So a measure of wheat for a day's wage. A measure of wheat could be what? A box of cereals. It could be a loaf of bread. And a day's wage is, what's the average people make a day? Let's say anywhere from 100, 200, 300. Some people make more than that. People that's making 10,000 a month, they're seeing what, 500 a day. You got lawyers, doctors making $500, $600, $700 a day. So 3 measures of barley for a penny. And wheat and barley is in damn near every product. You want to talk candies, sweets, It's like, yeah, so sweets, other things, because those are like the foundational ingredients for a majority of the products that Esau makes. And then he takes his, forever chemicals and alternative ingredients, lab-made ingredients, and puts it in them, which make people sick, So it says a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So the oil and the wine represents this truth. So this truth is not gonna be hurt. It's not gonna be, done away with. It's not gonna be tainted. Even though Esau, is sending agents, Esau is, doing everything in his power to deem us domestic terrorists and try to take this word off the internet. But once he does that, it's only gonna flourish even more, because once he does that, the Lord is gonna start showing that he's dealing with us. He's gonna start, giving his men power to do miracles to wake up the rest of the elect, because the main way the elect is waking up is through the internet. So if that gets cut off, how else would the elect be awoken? By the thousands, by the millions. It's gonna be through miracles, that the Lord does using his men. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna read this and then we can end it. Verse 7, it says, And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4 beasts say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. That pale horse is talking about Esau, Edom, their power structure, the elite, the people that control the economy, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and there's plenty of other families that, we don't even know about, that's, like right under them, right besides them. The Council of 300, the Bilderberg Group, all these different families, man, that are part of secret societies. You have this woman named Barbara Mux Hubbard. She said that I think she's part of the World Economic Forum, but years ago she had said, I think she had said that probably in the 90s, that basically, we are the riders of the pale horse and death. The Most High sanctions and we destroy, with the horsemen of the apocalypse. You see? And the scriptures say in Habakkuk, the second chapter, that Esau is as deaf and is as hell. So it says, and his name that sat on him was deaf, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. Yeah, so with the sword, which the sword come in many forms with Esau, It comes in the form of actual sword, which is the gun, different types of weaponry. You have chemical warfare, biological warfare, disease warfare, you know. It says, and with hunger, because they control trade, they control the food, you see. So they're going to cut that off, because what they're trying to do is get the world to bow down the knee to the image of Baal. And the image of Baal is this New World Order system, this great reset that they're trying to set up. And the totem, the idol that they're going to use to have people take the knee is going to be the RFID chip, the MOTB, the mark that they're going to require people to take in order for them to keep living in society, And that's when they know they got you. Because once you take it, that's you basically making an allegiance with the beast and his image, You basically worshiping the devil. It says to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. Yeah, so don't be surprised too, because they already did experiments where they chipped a bull, I believe. The bull start going crazy, and then they turn him off, and he shut down. So don't be surprised if Esau takes thousands of ferocious animals, chips them, and just releases them in the streets. You can't put nothing past this devil, man. They did that throughout history. The Romans, they persecuted the Jews. They threw the Christians in those Colosseums and had lions tear them apart, bears, and all types of ferocious animals, man. So don't be surprised, man, if Esau really start taking it there, But yeah, that was pretty much it on this lesson, So with that, I'm gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Achakwadash. Peace and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that give us his truth and all his purity. And salutations to all you out can pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.